All right, so in this video, we are designing the lower control arm for the Ultra 4, and I'm starting by figuring out how I'm going to mount the lower control arm to the frame. I found some really big bushings online from trophy truck parts suppliers, but none of them were quite big enough. So I think I'm going to go with custom sized polyurethane bushings, and then I can retain the same size 1 inch hardware on the mounts that attach the lower control arms to the frame. So going through the process of designing a custom polyurethane bushing here, this is way bigger than anything that I could find online. And I think these are going to be really, really strong, which is nice. So this is the sleeve that the bolts are going to attach to. So I haven't done this in the past, but this is proper suspension design where you have metal on metal between the sleeve and the bolt, and then you have polyurethane between the sleeve and the lower control arm billet. And the reason for that is that anytime you hit a big bump, that polyurethane is going to absorb some of that impact and allow the lower control arm to flex with respect to the frame, which is super crucial. If everything's hard mounted, then all that force goes into the welds. And so you actually want a little bit of compliance in the longitudinal direction of the suspension assembly, because the suspension allows compliance in the vertical direction. But if you hit a big rock, the only way for that force to be absorbed is for the lower control arm to move back a little bit by way of compressing the polyurethane bushing. So now I'm working on getting the approximate shape for the profile of the lower control arm, and I'm referencing that suspension sketch that I did earlier to get the cycling dialed in 2D before I start designing it in 3D. And what I'm realizing now is that the cuts that I'm going to make need to be on a strange plane, and if I can get those little angles there to be perpendicular to the angle of the cuts, it's going to make my fillets a lot smoother, and it's going to make the part a lot easier to machine. So that's what I'm working on here.